Tonight has been a celebration event of the participatory budgeting process in Ballintoy.
Tonight is really an excuse to get some of the celebration of the different projects that have been happening. It's a chance just to share about how the projects have gone, if you've been part of a project or you helped to make a project happen. So it's really the end point of this process we've been in for Ballintoy Plus, which is almost like reporting back to the voters. So people voted for these projects around the world, and this is just letting people know this is how we spent the night.
Tonight I attended an event in Ballintoy. It was a review and an assessment of all the funding that was obtained through the Ballintoy groups.
We had the posters of all the projects around the room, and then some of the folks shared about how the projects went, some of the highs and lows and what the projects had brought to them, and some of the things that worked and didn't work.
I put forward the idea to have a hen shed in Ballintoy, and people voted for it, and I started organising it, and we had like 5 weeks of activities for women in the local area.
The feeling in the room tonight was of total satisfaction, of being more content of how the funding was spent, and everybody seemed to enjoy the experience, but they thought it was very fairly worked out.
A lot of the projects will go on after tonight and into next year, and one of the original conversations around Ballintoy was that sense that people had just lost their connections to each other, had lost the opportunities to be together as neighbours, and a lot of these projects were about just creating that space for people to reconnect.
Obviously the funding's come to an end, and I am trying to source other bits of funding. We're a non-constituted group. We are just trying to get women together from all ages just to enjoy activities together, and I think a lot of women are isolated, in their homes.
I would especially recommend this type of spending for a smaller community, in this community where there are so many holiday makers. For the people that live long term in Ballintoy, there's a lot of closed doors, lights out. It's very appropriate for a community like this.
So delighted, and thank you again for taking part in this completely different way of making decisions around money, and thank you for tonight. And thank you for Margaret for organising.